I am talking to you today about the changes in communication.
The device I probably use the most to communicate is my iPhone.
iMessage, FaceTime,
My laptop.
Facebook, Snapchat, MySpace, Groupon.
Right here I have a cell phone, which I must say is finally has become familiar to me. But my very first use of a telephone had to do with our landline that you call today. And we had a party line, which meant the phone would ring in the house and you would have different numbers to answer. And I think our number was one long ring.
The device I probably use the most to communicate is my iPhone because it has so many different methods of communication. You can use iMessage to text, FaceTime so you can see people face to face, and just like calling in general.
Back in the early 40s, we went from there to regular black and white telephone.
Hello everyone, I'm from your telephone company. We know that dial telephones are easy to use, however, mistakes in dialing do occur. These mistakes waste a lot of time and can cause someone else to be inconvenienced and probably irritated. Now, let's use this demonstration model to dial our number. Always listen for the dial tone.
And from there we went to the changes in the telephone till it became like a princess phone. And after that we had color phones and different things to decorate in your house. But I realized today that hardly anybody talks on an old-fashioned phone anymore.
Modern age now, everyone has a cell phone. Everyone not only has a cell phone, has a smartphone. I went through college without a smartphone, just a standard cell phone. So not really connected to the internet via cell phone. Growing up, the internet started to become very popular in the 90s, late 90s, Windows and all that. Mostly used for social, such as AIM, which was a good time. Instant messaging, everyone remembers that. Those are the good old days.
So I got this smartphone, and I'm working with this smartphone for work. I start texting. I don't know what I'm doing, and my kids are like showing me. And then I finally get into it and working on my smartphone, and then my kids now are saying, "Mom, you're on the phone too much. You're texting all the time." Because it is quite addictive, and it's exciting to move along with the times and to explore the opportunities that these children have today. And communication has come a long way, and I'm glad I'm in this millennium.
Snapchat it's kind of like you share pictures with your friends. Like it's like a camera, and you take pictures and you send them to everyone else as a Snapchat, and they can be embarrassing. Just I prefer it's more fun. Or you can just do whatever you want, and you can do that for 10 seconds, and after that 10 seconds, like you have to hold it down, then it's like gone forever, unless you master the art of screenshotting, which I'm really good at.
Sometimes I'll have like mini conversations with my friends via really embarrassing and ugly pictures of us. I also do like using Snapchat to embarrass my mother. I don't know if you've seen that. Please add me on Snapchat at JessLoy.
When the iPhone first came out, it was just using calling and text messaging, which is just basic communication. But as it evolved, there was more iMessage, FaceTime, just better ways to communicate. And now there's FaceTime audio, which is like super high quality talking, which makes like phone calls seem unimportant, which is kind of interesting to see what happens to phone calls in the future.
My texting, because I have a Galaxy S3, it doesn't work that well, so sometimes I'll have to like Facebook message friends to talk to them. And that's really embarrassing.
I think today, now with all the modern things, I think we're losing our use of our English language, because we would get letters from my mother's cousin in Ireland, and although they did not have a high degree of education, they were able to express themselves beautifully in writing.
I don't really like using Facebook that much ever since my mom got one. It's pretty awful. Adults are so awkward on Facebook, but I do like to use it with the groups. For mock trial, we use different groups so we can post it in and communicate that way on one big social media, because group text can get kind of confusing and inappropriate. And as class president, I had to make a group of all seniors on Facebook to inform them when like their senior quotes were due, when the pictures are, the class trip. We put surveys on there for stuff they want to do. We're going to do that for prom too, and it's really easy and everyone gets involved, and it's just a way to access everyone because everyone has a Facebook. It was cool a few years ago. Now it's not because my mom's on there.
I think that if I was from another generation, I'd be much more open to using all technology because just everything would be a little overwhelming at first. I know there's so many different communications, like instant messenger, Facebook, text message, calling, and when you're from an older time period, they didn't have all these things, and when they come on so fast, it's hard for them to adapt, so everything seems really cool.
Talking about communication, I have to say the highlight of our lives when we were young was to get a letter in the mail. Wait for the mailman to come, someone wrote us a letter. As time went on, you had to really be good at writing in order to communicate with anybody.
I'm a freshman in college, and my boyfriend is a junior. The way that we keep in contact, even though I am away at college, is we use lots of social media, like we text all the time.
Well, I know that my parents still, and they used to do lots of emails and stuff, and nowadays I don't really send them any emails unless it's to a teacher or someone who's important. And when I'm texting my friends, I just use iMessage or text message. And FaceTime to my close friends when I want to see them face to face. It's better communication, I think, when you get to see their actual face rather than just see the text that they're saying.
I love my laptop because a lot of my classes, my teachers communicate with us through a program called Husky CT. So I always have to check my computer for grades, for new assignments, for any new details.
As a DJ, playing music, doing photo booth and uplighting. So, needless to say, communication is clearly a big factor, not only with the client, as in the bride and groom, as well as everyone at the wedding, the guests, the other vendors as well.
I always regretted that I did not take typing when I was in high school.
Back when I was at Trumbull High School, that I took a typing class, and I was so excited because I got an award for typing because I typed so fast. And that was a big thing back then, to learn to know how to type, which helped me utilize the keyboard better and expedite my papers because I knew how to type.
When I went to college, it was important to type up papers. And my aunt worked for the city of Bridgeport, and they were getting rid of their old typing system. So I got the original, I think it was called a Royal typewriter, that looks like something now when I watch movies. I can see them in World War II typing on these old-fashioned typewriters.
That old-fashioned typewriter, and I had asked for a new electric typewriter. And I was so excited to get this electric typewriter. But now, compared to what we used back then to compared to now, totally different. It's so much easier to do papers on the computer because you can cut and paste and move things around in your paper, where back then we would go through rolls and reams and reams of paper because you'd use the whiteout, and then you wouldn't want more than 3 mistakes, so you'd use whiteout or corrected type paper, and by the end your paper looked a mess, so you'd type it over and over again to perfection. And that made things so much more difficult than they are today. I went to college years ago, and then I just recently went back, and it's just so much easier. The communication, we had classes online. It was great with Blackboard. Years ago, we had to go to class every day, for our courses. It's just so much easier and convenient. And I often wonder how we did it back then, now that I'm in this generation and seeing what my children are doing. It's amazing how the communication has changed over the years.
Communication.
Communicate.
Communication.
Communication.
Communication.